And let's talk about winning people over. It's one of those things we all want to be good at, but no one wants to admit they're trying to do. We like to think we're above it, that people should just like us for who we are. But let's be real. Life doesn't work that way. Winning people over isn't about being fake. It's about understanding how human beings work, flaws and all. And let's face it, humans are messy, selfish, and often irrational. But they're also kind, generous, and capable of incredible connection. So today we're going to talk about how to win people over in a way that's sincere but not naive. Because yes, you can be genuine and still play the game. Let's dive in. Understand that everyone is selfish, but so are you. Here's the truth. Everyone is selfish, including you and me. It's not a bad thing. It's just human nature. We're wired to care about our own needs first. The trick to winning people over is to align your goals with theirs. If you want someone to like you, figure out what they want. Is it attention, validation, and a sense of belonging? Once you know, show them how you can help them get it. This isn't about manipulation, it's about mutual benefit. And here's the cynical part. Even the most selfless acts often have a selfish motive. Maybe you help someone because it makes you feel good. Maybe you're kind because you want to be seen as a good person. That's okay. Embrace the complexity, just don't pretend you're above it. Let me give you an example. Think about the last time you did something nice for someone. Maybe you helped a friend move, or you donated to a charity. Why did you do it? Was it purely altruistic, or did you get something out of it too? Maybe you wanted to feel good about yourself, or maybe you wanted to strengthen your relationship with that friend. That's not a bad thing. It's just human nature. The key is to be aware of it and use it to your advantage. Flattery works, but don't be obvious. Let's talk about flattery. Yes, it works. Yes, it's a little manipulative. But here's the thing. People like to feel appreciated. And if you can make someone feel good about themselves, why wouldn't you? The key is to be genuine, or at least convincing. Don't just throw out generic compliments. Be specific. Notice something real about them, even if it's small. You have a great sense of humor, or I admire how passionate you are about this. And here's the cynical twist. Even if you don't fully mean it, the act of looking for something to compliment can help you see the good in people. So maybe flattery isn't just about winning them over. It's about training yourself to be more observant and appreciative. Who knew manipulation could be so wholesome? Let me give you an example. Imagine you're at a networking event and you meet someone who's clearly passionate about their work. Instead of saying something generic like, "You're so smart," you could say, "I can tell you really care about what you do." It's inspiring to see someone so dedicated. That's specific, it's genuine, and it makes them feel good about themselves. And guess what? They're more likely to remember you and want to connect with you in the future. Listen, or at least pretend to. Here's a radical idea. Listen to people. I know, shocking. But here's the thing. Most people don't actually listen. They wait for their turn to talk. And if you can be the person who genuinely listens, you'll stand out. Now, let's be real. Not everyone is interesting. Sometimes you'll be stuck listening to someone drone on about their cat's dietary habits. But here's the trick. You don't have to care about the topic to care about the person. Ask questions, nod along. Throw in an occasional, "That's amazing," or "I can't believe that happened." And if you're really struggling, just repeat the last thing they said in the form of a question. So, your cat only eats organic salmon. Wow. The cynical part? Most people won't notice if you're faking it. But the sincere part, if you actually try to listen, you might learn something. And who knows, you might even make a real connection. Let me give you an example. Imagine you're at a party and you're talking to someone who's going on and on about their job. You might not care about their job, but if you ask a few questions and show genuine interest, they'll walk away thinking, "Wow, that person is really nice." And guess what? They're more likely to want to hang out with you again in the future. Use their name, but not like a robot. Here's a simple trick. Use people's names. It's a small thing, but it works. Hearing their own name makes people feel seen and valued. But don't overdo it. If you say their name in every sentence, you'll sound like a telemarketer. Use it naturally, like you're not even trying. Hey, great to see you. I agree. Whatever the hell their name is, that's a really good point. The cynical part? It's a psychological trick, and it's a little manipulative. The sincere part? It's a way of showing respect and building rapport. So go ahead, say their name. Just don't be creepy about it. Let me give you an example. Imagine you're meeting someone for the first time, and you want to make a good impression. Instead of just saying, "Nice to meet you," you could say, "Nice to meet you, name." It's a small change, but it makes a big difference. They'll feel more connected to you, and they're more likely to remember you. Be kind, but not a pushover. Here's the thing. Kindness is powerful, but it's not the same as being a pushover. If you want to win people over, be kind, but don't let them walk all over you. Stand your ground, set boundaries, and don't be afraid to disagree. People respect honesty, even if it's not what they want to hear. The key is to be firm without being cruel. The cynical part? Some people will take advantage of your kindness if you let them. The sincere part? Most people will appreciate it and respond in kind. So be kind, but don't be naive. And remember, you don't have to be a jerk to be respected, but you do have to respect yourself. Let me give you an example. Imagine you're working on a group project, and one of your teammates isn't pulling their weight. Instead of being passive-aggressive or letting it slide, you could say, "Hey, I noticed you haven't been contributing much lately. Is everything okay? We really need your help to get this done." That's kind, but it's also firm. You're showing that you care, but you're also setting boundaries. The power of vulnerability. Being vulnerable can actually help you win people over. When you show your flaws, your insecurities, your humanity, people are more likely to connect with you. Now, I'm not saying you should spill your deepest, darkest secrets to everyone you meet, but a little vulnerability can go a long way. Maybe you admit that you're nervous about a presentation, or you share a story about a time you failed. When you do that, you show people that you're human, just like them. The cynical part. Vulnerability can be scary. It makes you feel exposed. But the sincere part, it's one of the most powerful ways to build trust and connection. So don't be afraid to let your guard down every once in a while. You might be surprised at how people respond. The art of reciprocity. Here's another powerful tool in your arsenal. Reciprocity. It's a simple concept. If you do something for someone, they're more likely to do something for you in return. Now, I'm not saying you should keep score or expect something every time you do a favor, but if you want to win someone over, do something nice for them. It doesn't have to be big. It could be as simple as buying them a coffee or offering to help them with a project. The cynical part? Reciprocity is a psychological trick, and it's a little manipulative. The sincere part? It's a way of building goodwill and strengthening relationships. So go ahead. Do something nice for someone. Just don't expect anything in return. So there you have it. How to win people over in a way that's sincere, but not naive. It's not about being perfect. It's about being human, flaws and all. Understand that everyone is selfish, including you. Use flattery, but make it genuine. Listen, even when it's hard. Use their name, but don't overdo it. Be kind, but don't be a pushover. Show vulnerability, and don't be afraid to do something nice for someone. At the end of the day, winning people over isn't about tricking them into liking you. It's about showing up as your best self and letting them do the same. And if that doesn't work, well, there's always bribery.